I'm going to talk about inspiration today, but you just did it. You just showed inspiration. And here's the thing. God, I'm like wringing my hands behind me. I'm like, So, yeah, what you do, it's such a lesson to me, how you just let inspiration, which is what the affirmation is all about, how you let the fire in you out, your arms, your body. I was talking about this yesterday in the workshop. I was like, we have got to start letting life live us, and on every level, all of our senses. We got to stop being talking heads, where we're just heads and we're not our hearts. And you get up here and you show us your intelligence with your lyrics, and then you show us your creativity with your voice, and then, as if that's not enough, you take it all and then infuse it through your body. Holy God. There are moments I do sit there going, I don't really have to do anything now. I should just get up and go, have a good day. Really. And I usually then make a joke, but I won't. But I am. Go home. No. So, this month is all about inspiring. So I'm going to give you a definition to start this with inspire. Inspire. The process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. That's exactly what she just did. She just showed us. The process. There is a process, or a process if you're from Canada. There is a process to everything if you allow it, if you open up to it. And I love this, the process of being mentally stimulated. Are you stimulated in your life? I mean, are you living a life that allows you to be stimulated? I look at the Drapers. They just moved into a beautiful new house on the lake. They're out on their boat probably every day. And that stimulates them. That excites them. That makes them really come to life. I've watched them on the back of their boat water skiing. And they're just, I know that you don't do that in the ocean anymore, but that's stimulating. I look at it too, they're just about to be married. They'll be newlyweds in moments. That's stimulating. These events in our lives can be very stimulating. But what about when we're already married and we already bought the house and we've already been on the boat 1,000 times? Where are we being stimulated? How are we? There's Karen Wright, who's off to Uganda with Eric this time. That's stimulating. But is she stimulated when she's home? Yes, because she's planning her next trip to Uganda. But what is stimulating us? That's inspiring. Mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. Every single person in this room is creative. And it doesn't mean you have to paint or sing or dance or write. You are creative. Your mind is creative. So there's this process that we talk about in religious science called spiritual mind treatment. And its job is to, as it says here, especially to do something, stimulated to do something or feel something. Do you know that spiritual mind treatment, what we use as prayer, affirmative prayer, its only job is to stimulate us. It is there to make us feel something. And when we feel something, the universe responds. She just got up here and felt something, and that feeling, that moved energy, and I felt, and I would imagine most of you in the room, or if not all of you in the room, and all you guys online, you all felt something. That's what prayer is about. We have moved far away from prayer as begging something outside of ourselves for something. That doesn't make me feel anything but needy. Now when I pray from the truth, from what I know. And prayer, its only purpose is to make us feel the very thing we're praying about. So Margaret's lyrics, could you pull up the next slide? A quote by Margaret Owens. It's more than just the natural I'm looking for, the simple and the normal and the small. When I heard that this morning, when I was listening to it at like 5 a.m, this popped out, and it hadn't popped out to me before. It's more than just the natural I'm looking for. I'm not looking for the simple or the normal or the small. And there's nothing wrong with the simple. And there's nothing wrong with the natural. And there's nothing wrong with small advantages and small experiences. But I don't know about you, but I'm looking for something else. Because the universe has the capacity to give me greater experiences, bigger experiences, more expansive experiences. And I know Margaret. So it's more than just the natural I'm looking for. So what are you looking for? What have you told the universe is the thing that you desire most? What have you said, this is non-negotiable here? Something I teach in CPR. It's non-negotiable that I succeed at the highest level possible, not for success's sake, but for the divine truth that I get to live there because that's who I am. So where are you in this beautiful journey of deciding to live the biggest version of you could possibly ever imagine? And I guess the real question is, what inspires you? Do you know what inspires you? I'd like to think you're all here today and that all of you are online watching today because you know that this service, what we do on a Sunday, does inspire. Not I inspire you, but that this consciousness that so many people are responsible for. I just show up and have fun. But Reverend Karen Oxrider, she puts most of this together. The musicians, Robbie does all the music. Margaret and Mindy, I just come in and sing and they're there going, where are the harmonies? There's so much that gets put into what happens here. And then we have a rotation of guest stars like Julio who come in with crowns to inspire. So I would like to know that you're all here because you do get inspired. And we know how to create this consciousness in this room to inspire. So there's one thing on a Sunday morning for an hour. But what do you do the rest of the time? What really inspires you? Who inspires you? These are important questions to ask. And I asked myself, I was like, who inspires me? Who really inspires me? And I will tell you, all politics put aside, President Joe Biden inspires me right now. And so does President Zelensky. Watching these two men, and you can have your political partisanship, and I wish you would put that away and look at the person in both cases and in all cases. But his heart, his soul, both of them, inspires me. Inspires me to want to be better. Inspires me to want to stop being so cynical about politics. I am so tired of people telling me politics is just an ugly game, blah, 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 because I do believe there are certain people who go into politics because they want to change the world. And I would rather focus on those people than the other people. That inspires me when I see that. Pope Francis, is that who's the Pope now? Yeah. It's Pope Francis. He inspires me, even though I don't know his name. But he does. He inspires me. I watch him navigating a sea of Catholicism that's not often easy to navigate when you're the Pope, because they expect you to follow tradition. Ernest Holmes inspires me at all times, especially as I figure out that all this stuff he was saying in 1927, he had no concept for why what he was saying was true. He just knew it. And so he said it. There was no proof then. But now, here we are 100 years later, and scientists, and on the top of his book, he says, I long for the day when science and religion walk hand in hand. Guess what? They're walking. And science is now telling us we're one unified creative energy. That's the quantum field. That's what God is. So you're like, wow, 100 years ago, you knew this. You didn't have any proof, and you still stood up and said it. That, to me, is inspiring. So what inspires you? We have a month of inspiration. And I was looking for the theme for this month. And of course, it's Easter this month and Passover. And, resurrection would be a good theme. All of these were great. But you know what? The Jewish people inspire me. Christianity inspires me. So that's why I picked inspire. I wanted something more active, not reflective. So my gift to you with that theme is I'm going to ask you to spend the month inspiring yourself. Find out what inspires you and then do it for God's sake. For God's sake. Do it. So I have a quote by Helen Keller. It's this. Thor. There you go. Thank you. The best and most beautiful things in the world cannot be seen or even touched. They must be felt with the heart. So I'm going to suggest this month, as you step into this idea of being inspired and inspiration, that you get out of your head, get out of that. Yeah, I know you think I'm pointing just to you. I'm kind of pointing to everybody, but you. Get out of your head, get out of your critical thinking, stop trying to make sense out of everything, and take a tip from old Ernest Holmes that you don't have to know why, how, or even when. You just have to be in your heart and feel it, and then trust that the universe will respond. Ernest Holmes, in fact, said this: in moments of real inspiration, we realize that God is all, that life is everything, and that love moves through everything. In moments of real inspiration. So, and this is why Thor was halting for a moment, because I just switched this up. The title of my talk today is, you got it, Inspirations Move. Inspirations move. So, I was thinking about inspiration, and I was thinking about the fact that do I create inspiration in my life? No, I find it. I don't have to create it. It's already created. Everything necessary for you to be inspired is already created. But very often, we get stuck in our minds, and we go out and we look for it. We try to be inspired. We try to find things to inspire us, and that's not a bad thing. But the title of my talk is this: when we are able to, and when we're willing to get out of our heads, to just step aside from the lives we're living, to take the time to create space for something to come, then we can say, all right, your move. Your move, inspiration. Inspire me. We can call it forth, and we can be the consciousness of inspiration, not looking for inspiration, because it's both a verb and a noun. We tend to look for the noun, the thing that will inspire us. But as a verb, inspiration is who you are. And so when I get to say now, all right, inspiration, it's your move. I've made my moves. Now it's yours. Feed me, live me, flow through me. And that's an awareness we have to become clear about. We have to be clear that it's already there. That's true with everything. Prosperity, health, relationships, they're already there. Everything is right where I am, here, right here, in my consciousness. In the very fact that I am one with everything, it's right here. So, this month, your move, inspiration. You can do the same thing with success, with a whole bunch of things. So, the other thing that inspire means is to breathe, believe it or not. I think you might know that. In spirit. Inspire. To be in the breath of life. So everybody take a deep breath for a moment. Hold it. And let it out. So what happened in that moment that you were holding your breath? Your mind held your breath, not your body. Your mind, one more time, take a deep breath. Hold it. And let it go. Now, you could all let it go and hold it as long as you want, and everybody holds it better than others. But your mind just told you that you were holding your breath, right? Otherwise, are you thinking about breathing when you're breathing? No, you just breathe. until you actually think about it. So if you take a deep breath and hold it, your mind just decided to hold its breath. And if breath is inspiration, then I think we're holding our breath too much because our minds keep telling us something else is the answer. Our minds keep pointing us in this direction and that direction, as opposed to finding within ourselves the ability and the capability to just breathe naturally the way we do. So to inspire naturally the way we do. To see inspiration when we walk down the street. To feel inspiration in a baby's eyes. To feel inspiration in a flower. To feel inspiration even in a cloudy, misty day. I loved it. There was a woman leaving this area this morning when I came in, and she said, "Don't you just love this weather?" And my first thought was going to be, it's a little cloudy. And I was like, yes, I do. I love the mist. It was a little misty when I first got here. And it's like, but her whole demeanor, that was an inspiring moment. She inspired me to get out of anything else I was thinking and go, yeah, it is a beautiful day. I love the mist. And the irony is, of course, this kind of day was Nora's favorite kind of day. And I once said to her, and I apologize, Nora, now that I said this to you, but I once said to her, because we were walking out and we were taking the dogs for a walk, and she's like, I love dark, cloudy, rainy days. And I went, are you telling me I need to find you a therapist? That was my answer to her. Yeah. And she just, I forget what she said, but yeah. Because I thought, well, why would you love a dark, cloudy, misty day? Well, why wouldn't you? Why do we have all these pejoratives? Cloudy day, not happy. Sunny day, happy. And here's another one. Success, fun, exciting. Failure, depressed, angry. What if failure was just another way of going, oh, that doesn't work? Anybody? Yeah, good, yeah. God, if I had that consciousness when I was an actor, and when I came out of an audition and thinking, wow, I really sucked at that one. And yet, you know what? One of the biggest jobs I got, they were doing a revival of Funny Face, Fred Astaire's big musical. And this was going to be this big Broadway revival. And I wanted the starring role in it, of course. So I went in, and I sang, and I was singing a song called You and I. You know that song, the Petula Clark song? You and I have traveled far together. It's really, no one knows it. And I got to the end of it, and I was like, that only time can make, that only we can make, that, and I went, that only, and I just kept going, and I left there so angry at myself. I was like, I can't believe you cracked it. I can't believe that was just awful. You just blew the biggest job you ever got. And of course, I did get the job, and I did get the starring role. And the first day of rehearsal, we're at the table read, I went up to the musical director, I said, you know, it shocks me, you never asked me to sing again. When I cracked on that high note, he went, you did? I said, yeah, I cracked on that high G. He goes, well, I think I already decided to hire you before you hit that, so I don't remember you cracking. I was like, oh, and then he's like, and people crack. Doesn't mean they can't sing. I was like, wow, good luck. Wait for these rehearsals. You'll see how that goes. So what if we just understood that we are this thing called inspiration? That we are the inspiring factor in our own lives. You and me, we are the breath of our own lives, and as we breathe, we are inspired. What if every breath you took going forward, you recognized and acknowledged you were being inspired? What would that do to your month? If you just walked around this planet, this universe, your world, being inspired. So this month, I would like you to intentionally take a breath and surrender to this thing called inspiration, to inspire yourself. And more than that, I really want you to walk around saying, your move, inspiration. Call it up. Call it up. You get to. You are this thing. Why not use it? Why not use the mind you have? There's a concept. Why not actually be intentionally living our lives from a place of, I am the inspiration, I am the success, I am the health, I am the vibrancy, I am the love that I keep thinking is somewhere out there. It's right here. Inspirations move. I am fully ready. I am ready to be inspired. I am ready to be loved. I am ready to be more successful. I am ready to be more prosperous. Reverend Eric showed me this book yesterday on the way to the beach with all these 40 million, 20 million, 80 million. Was one house 80 million? An $80 million house that he works on the team that designs them and designs the interiors, right? And oh my God, they were just gorgeous. But I did not think, and I was like, wow, you've come a long way, baby. I did not think to myself, wow, I can't believe people live in $80 million homes. Or I didn't think to myself, that is so far removed from, I was like, do you want an $80 million home, James? My answer was no. You're all like, what? No, really. Do I want an $80 million home? No. Because I said this on CPR this morning. Because if I had $80 million to just spend on a home, I'd probably rather have a $10 million home at the top of Malibu or something and overlook the ocean, still have a beautiful home, and take the other $70 million and put it into the world. Send it to Guatemala, send it to Ukraine. Do something with it that probably would make me feel a lot better than being in an $80 million home. Except if I happened to be a billionaire, I might go for the $80 million home because I'd still have so much left, I'd keep giving more. But you know what? It sounds like I'm kidding here, but I'm not. I'm not. I realized looking his book, I was like, I gotta open my ceiling a little more. I gotta open my consciousness a little bit more. I'm very wealthy. I know that. I'm very successful. I know that. But it's the tip of the iceberg to what's out there, to what's in here. So I am at your move. Not yours, Eric's. Your move. But you can design my house when I get it. Your move. To everything. Inspirations move. Successes move. Prosperities move. It's your move because that's what's inside of me. You just have to get out of the way. Get your mind out of the way. Definitely get your brain out of the way. Drop into your heart. Remember who you are. And as soon as that happens, you can say, it's your move because I am ready. Namaste.